Yo, what's going on, you guys? This is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, bringing you a video game update on Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4. It's been literally 5 months since we got that announcement at Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2023. Fans were very hyped to hear that they were going to get a continuation of one of their favorite Dragon Ball Z franchises, and we had a lot of speculations going into this, like how many characters were going to be introduced into this version of the game, and were they going to actually make it a multi-platform game available on all the systems. So many questions to ask, but unfortunately we haven't really gotten any answers from the source themselves, that being Bandai Namco. They've been radio silent since that thing dropped. And I still find it quite funny that the actual trailer wasn't released on their website or channel. It was released on all these other channels that took it upon themselves to screen record the stuff from the live stream. But Namco Bandai has said nothing. There's been no more information that exists for Budokai Tenkaichi, and the only hints of when more news could come came in the form of rumors from YouTubers. I think one of the biggest yet funniest rumors came back in March when a GameStop employee claimed that a Namco Bandai employee visited the GameStop that they worked at, and that the employee was saying that Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4 could release in September. So essentially all these random sources were throwing out these crazy rumors, and we were eating it up like mealworms. Like anything when it comes to Dragon Ball Z video games, we consume very rapidly and we just want to know more. We want to see more screenshots for the characters, and we want to see what the environments are going to look like, and we want to know when's the next event we could possibly see a teaser trailer. This year is halfway over, so I think it's safe to assume that we won't be seeing this game in September, given the fact that September is just next month, and there haven't really been any more updates. So I think it's safe to assume that this game is still in the development oven and probably won't see the light of day until 2024 of next year. Something else that further corroborates this assumption is the fact that Funimation, or should I say Crunchyroll, is doing the dubbing for the game as we speak. A few days ago, the voice actor Sonny Strait, who you may recognize as the voice of Krillin and Bardock respectively, made a TikTok video saying that he recorded lines for 3 voices for a video game. And one of the key things that he mentioned is that he did a lot of screaming, and anytime you hear something like that, you know it correlates to a Dragon Ball Z title, because that's something that I've always heard complaints about. They scream too much. That's something that my uncle has always said when I tried to get him into the series, and it's widely associated with it. So yeah, this guy is obviously talking about a Dragon Ball Z related title, and it's a strong possibility that it could be Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4. I mean, given the fact that this is the most recently announced Dragon Ball Z game, it has to be that. And also, I just want to point out that this game might not be titled Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4 because, as you saw from the trailer, they never said that themselves. That's just been a title the fans have given it since they showcased Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 up in the trailer. And it's been over a decade since we've gotten a direct follow-up in the Tenkaichi series. Anyways, when Sonny mentioned that he had been recording lines for 3 characters, I was a bit taken aback by that because, you know, we always know him for Krillin, and we know that he's going to put down those epic lines for Bardock, but he said 3 of them, so that could be a wild card of any selection of characters, because this guy has voiced a lot of characters within the Dragon Ball Z universe. We're talking General Blue, who has already been featured in a Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi game before. I think Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. And there are a slew of others such as Ghetto from Dragon Ball GT, which we could potentially hear if they decide to include the GT universe. Fingers crossed on that one though. Now, I'm not particularly sure how things are going to be executed when it comes to voice recording, because from all the stuff I've seen going back in those behind the scenes footage of Budokai games and Tenkaichi games, it's always been done by Okatron 5000, which is a studio that's owned by Vegeta himself, Christopher Sabat. And they say those things can take up to 2 to 3 weeks to record, and it's probably going to take a lot longer considering the fact that the roster has become robust with all these other installments such as Super. I can only imagine all the lines, because last time I checked in like Budokai 3, they said they had over 50,000 lines and they had to be very methodical with the way they do. Since this is being done with the video games as opposed to anime, the voice actors are going to have to squeeze in as much as the translated dialogue as they can to match the lip flaps, and they're probably going to be moving at a rapid rate to get this thing done in a timely fashion. If I'm not mistaken, the time it takes to produce a video game with good quality audio is usually around 2 to 3 months. But given the fact that Namco Bandai has this weird licensing agreement with Shueisha and Toei to produce these titles, they're probably going to try to get this thing done as fast as possible, so things are going to be a little bit sloppy. Like, if there's one thing I've noticed about Dragon Ball Z produced titles, a lot of the dubbing can be a bit sloppy compared to other big AAA games. The lip flaps aren't always going to match, like a character might say something and the mouth will still be moving for about 3 seconds later. So yeah, Okratron 5000, they're going to try to get as much as they can get done, even if it is going to be a little bit janky. But yeah, I'm hoping that a leak comes out from one of the cracks of Namco Bandai's production, and hopefully we actually get a word from them, because I just want to hear more about this title. What is it going to bring to the table that other previous installments didn't? And exactly what development team is going to be producing this title, because we don't know. They didn't show any names at the bottom of the trailer. Will it be Spike Chunsoft, formerly known as Spike, who's become synonymous with the Tenkaichi franchise and many other battle arena titles? Or will it be somebody new to pick up the mantle? I'm hoping it's the first option, because they already know the inner workings of this title, and given the fact that they have a solid foundation already laid out in terms of the gameplay mechanics, they don't have to do much. I think the biggest things that they had to worry about is stacking the roster as much as possible, kind of like they did in the previous installments. And then you have the overall world of Dragon Ball Z that fans just want to explore all the nooks and crannies of. Like, if there's one game that absolutely nailed that aspect, it would have to be DBZ Kakarot. I mean, there have been previous DBZ titles that have done it, but not to the extent that CC2 did, where you're essentially reliving all these moments in chronological order with Goku and experiencing all these iconic events that have been recreated and look better than the anime. The game was near perfect, but I think the biggest sin that they committed was not allowing local or online multiplayer to face your friends. Like, if you can do that with your Naruto Storm games, which are essentially this RPG hybrid fighter, then it shouldn't be a problem to do that with a Dragon Ball Z game. You know we want to fight our friends. But anyways, I'm gonna keep an eye out on any other details that they have for this title. I just want whatever team that's working on this game to incorporate everything that we've seen in previous installments. Even some of the more obscure things like the tag system from Tenkaichi Tag Team. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of fans who didn't get a chance to experience that game, especially since it was a PlayStation Portable exclusive. Funny enough, Tenkaichi Tag Team was the last traditional game in the Budokai Tenkaichi series to retain that native gameplay, and it's the only installment in the Tenkaichi series to be released on handheld consoles. To this day, I still haven't gotten a chance to experience the game for myself, and if there are any copies around, I might pick it up, or I might just emulate the game for myself to experience it. Because the Raging Blast games, they don't feel the same compared to the Tenkaichi series. But anyways, I think the tag team feature will be a brilliant introduction to bring back, because as you know, Super Saiyan Blue is going to be in this game, and if Super Saiyan Blue is going to be in it, the Tournament of Power has obviously got to be in it. If you watch that series, you know that the Tournament of Power featured a lot of team-ups from various characters, and that's something that they can mix up and make it feel authentic to what we saw in the anime. And instead of making it a 2v2, they can make it a 3v3. They can just have all these different things added up in there. Like, they really need to go all out, because the Budokai Tenkaichi series has been laying dormant for over a decade, as I mentioned earlier, and these arena fighters are some of the most celebrated games in the Dragon Ball community, which is largely due in part to the enormous rosters and interesting story modes. Not only are there recreations of canon events, but dream scenarios as well. But anyways, that's gonna do it for us today, guys. That's all I got for you. I am excited to hear that they actually are in the studio recording more lines for this game. If there's one thing Okratron is gonna make sure they do and prioritize over anything else, it's a Dragon Ball Z title. And it's gonna be a return to true form, because the Tenkaichi series is something they have a long history with. Now, if I were to make an educated guess on when we can see something else pertaining to this game from the official source, I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be next month for the Tokyo Game Show. While it's smaller than bigger events like the Summer Game Fest, they still have a large industry showcasing all these games, especially some of the more licensed Japan games. So yeah, my bet is on the Tokyo Game Show in September. But what are your thoughts on this? Do you like it? Are you excited to hear that the English dub cast is back in the studio and they're giving it their all? And do you think we can see this game sooner than later? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, I ask you to like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. But if you really enjoyed this video, I ask you to share with all your friends and followers on all the different social media outlets. Sharing is caring. But once again, this is your boy RBG signing out on another video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. As a successful YouTube user, I often get questions asking what I use to get my videos tons of views. And the answer to that is TubeBuddy. This thing has helped me take my channel to the next level in ways I never imagined. It's a browser extension that helps new and experienced YouTubers grow fast and optimize their channels. I've been using this extension for years and it's constantly getting updated with new features, like the SEO tool that helps me come up with the perfect title, description, and tags to get more people to click on my videos. It even provides you with analytics beside your videos to see how much traffic your video is generating from various social media sites. The extension is absolutely free, but as a special offer, we're giving a 50% discount for channels that have less than 1,000 subscribers that purchase the Pro upgrade. All you have to do is enter in the code RisingStarBuddy. So if you're interested in starting a YouTube channel or taking your content to the next level, download the extension now. You can do so by clicking on this link that'll be provided in the description of this video.